Hello and welcome to a VO's Journey podcast. My name is Anthony Pica, and this show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to step on. Today's episode is going to be about a job that I recently did, and I want to talk about how you can get more work by elevating your game and also making that elevation known. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that in just a few minutes. Let's do it.
This is VO's Journey. With your host, the incomparable Anthony Pica.
All right, so I did a job today for an audiobook owner or an author who had hired a narrator from Fiverr to do an audiobook. And it was a very interesting situation, because many of you know, and if you don't know, I also do audiobook editing as well as mastering and formatting for ACX and a bunch of other different sites that you would put your audiobook on to sell. And so I had a job today that I was working on, and the files I got, so for starters, they were a mess, meaning like they were saved. I've never seen this, but they were saved in multiple different ways. Like some were saved in stereo, some were saved in mono, some were saved at higher bit rates and lower bit rates, and some were saved in just all kinds of different ways. The formatting was all off. The volume was super, super low. And it also sounded like the narrator narrated in a big echo room. And also, it sounded almost as if they maybe even tried to overprocess it because it was clipping off words. I mean, it was really rough. And I don't want to say anything bad about the narrator's acting ability, because I honestly couldn't tell, because the quality of the production was so poor that you couldn't understand half of it. And I felt really bad as I was working on the piece just to format it, because they couldn't get it accepted. The author didn't know what to do and everything. So and that's why I do that, is to help those people. But the point I'm trying to make here is that I asked the author at the end, because they were very excited because I got the work done pretty quickly, about how good a job I did, and I asked them where the person came from, the narrator, and they said they got them from Fiverr. And, I then proceeded to tell the author, I said, that's cool. I said, if you are ever doing more books, I know some female narrators that could really help you out and help elevate your game even more. And, they were asking me the pricing, and I told them the pricing. They're like, oh, cool. Well, we'll keep in touch because we're working on a 25,000 word book right now, or a couple. So I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you very much. So anyways, the point I'm trying to make here is that the whole thing to the story was the person that said to me, oh, well, that's kind of a little expensive on my end. And I told him, I said, I understand that, but I wanted to point out to you that, the work that you're going to get, you might pay more up front for this, but you're going to make a lot more on the back end with your books because of the quality of the work. And you're going to make more by investing a little bit more. And, and I think that the point here is a couple things. And this is what I wanted to talk about to you guys today, is that we need to promote the fact that we are putting out highly professional, high quality voiceovers. And that, that separates us from other people here on Fiverr or out there in the world right now. Here's another interesting story. I was talking to one of my friends, and he was telling me about this situation that just happened. And apparently, a couple of days ago, there's this really big YouTuber in India. And apparently he does videos where he goes on and promotes websites and, tells the customers and things about these websites. So apparently he went on and promoted, he's promoted Fiverr, he's promoted Voquent, he's promoted voices.com and these different places like this. And he was telling a bunch of people that all they had to do was go on there, they could record on their phone and all this stuff and get a lot of business for free. And these people were just flooding on these sites, signing up. At some points, just making noises like grunting in their phones, because they think they were going to make money. You know what I mean? And yes, they were definitely lied to and led astray. But the point is, though, is that yes, we can gripe about it and moan about it. But I remember when I was brand new. And I'm sure there was people somewhere complaining about me because I was new and coming into the business and didn't know what I was doing. So, but here's what I'm trying to go with all this. And I just found that to be a crazy interesting story because there was like millions of people doing this. So it's like over flooding websites, like these voiceover sites and stuff, and shutting them down and crashing the sites because there were so many of these people going on to these sites. So, anyways, the thing is that, we have a superior product, but it doesn't mean that we're better than other people or that they shouldn't be allowed to attempt to, make their own way in this world. But it should mean that we should not be afraid of letting people know of the quality that we possess, not putting down other people. And I if I felt like I put down the narrator in the beginning of this, I wasn't putting her down. I didn't, like I said, I think she did a fine job of the acting. It was more so just the quality of the product itself was unfortunately very poor. And, it was clear that she wasn't up to speed yet on how to produce very good quality, a good quality voiceover. So, this is the kind of thing that separates us and helps us make more money, but we have to tell people about it. But we also have to tell people about it in a manner in which they are going to respond and want to purchase from us, right? So this is something that I want to give you some advice about. And I think that the first place to start is, in your descriptions about, the quality work that you put out. And we don't want to talk about other people, but you can mention things like, for example, I mentioned that the reason why I charge more than other people, like, for example, on Fiverr, is because I put out a product that is very high quality and it comes with years and years of experience and et cetera, from my training and all this stuff. You know what I mean? And that I was an actor and I did all these things and I work in a professional studio. I put these things out there and that's why they know that if they work with me, they're going to get a really good product. And then I back that up by the samples and the demo I have, as well as the process I put them through. Meaning that, like, in my gig description, I even talk about what the process is going to be, right? What is A, B, C, D, E? What can they expect? Expectations are so powerful. And by the way, setting expectations helps make you look more professional. And here it is right here. Would you purchase something from somebody online that has little to no information? No, we would not. We feel confident that people are not scammers. They know what they're doing. The more information they have. I mean, because think about it. The more information they have, they've spent time. There's thought gone into it. There is a reason that it's there, meaning that there's experience behind it. It's interesting what this does to us subconsciously. All of these different little things, all right, they paint a picture of us differently than others. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about it today because, like I said, it was an interesting thing to me to see. And by the way, this isn't the first one. I do a lot of editing, audiobook editing, more mastering and format. I try to stay away from so much of the editing, unless people are going to pay me the full price for the editing, because, editing takes a while, as we all know. But the mastering and formatting, and then, of course, I put it through. I do some editing. Like, I'll help with deep breath and plosives. I'll take those out, and clicks and mouth noise and stuff. I'll help with that. But any, like, line-by-line editing, I try not to do unless I'm paid really a lot for it. But the thing is I've done a lot of editing books on Fiverr from narrators on Fiverr, and honestly, about 75 to 80% of them are really rough. I mean, rough as in, like, they really do not have a solid grasp on quality production, and it is poor. So, I think that as we go through Fiverr and trying to figure out too how to make more money on Fiverr, it is vital that we present ourselves as professionally as possible, because that's going to and by the processes, like I said, but also in the quality of the work we put out. Now, I know Fiverr has having issues with the tone of their, not the tone, but they're having that issue with playing back videos where it sounds like, I don't know, it almost sounds like there's some like feedback or something going. But anyways, but I'm talking about just the general professionalism of our gigs, our pictures, our demos, all of that stuff. It matters. And then what happens is you can justify charging a higher price as opposed to other people, because let's be honest, if you're going on and you've bought from Fiverr before and you're buying somebody like what I just did, what I just edited and stuff, you're going to question whether or not you should pay more money because you have no idea that it could be better. So it's our job to really tell people, let them know of the quality work that we do, and put samples out there and try to get those samples in front of people. It's a funny story is that when I do these books, a lot of times I get files and they're not complete. Like, for example, the most famous part, or the most popular thing that's not complete, is opening and closing credits. So as an extra service, I'll do that for them. I'll just do the opening, closing credits, because that doesn't take very long. And whenever I get back, inevitably everyone always says, "Oh my gosh, you have such an amazing voice. This is such high quality. Wow." And it's so interesting. I'm like, I sell here on Fiverr too, but there are so many people who are not seeing that because they are not being sold on the importance of what quality and the price difference means. Do you know what I mean? But here's the thing, just telling someone that it costs more and you're going to get, something that is, I'm worth it, that's not enough. Okay, people are not going to argue with you and say you're not worth that money. I mean, if they do, they're not very nice people. But most people are going to be like, of course, I know you're worth it, but I'm on a budget. But see, the thing is that's the problem is that when we do that, we focus all that attention on ourselves and not on them. And, one of the big things about selling, right, is we want to focus our attention on them and why is it going to help them. And I tell you, I have made some of my biggest sales asking the largest numbers because of what I told you in the beginning of this, is that, listen, you might pay more up front, but because of that, you are going to make way more money on the back end. It's going to help you so much more, and you're going to benefit from it. Do you see what I mean? Like, we need to make it about them, okay? But we still have to, like, we have to put up or shut up. Like, you gotta play the game. Like, you gotta have the goods in order for you to, tell them that kind of stuff. Okay. And when you do, then you're not lying. I mean, you're telling the truth, right? The famous line too is like, are you able to, sell your voiceovers for a high rate price? Are you confident enough in your voiceovers and what you do in your production to do that? And if you're not, that's okay. That's okay. Just keep working on it and you can slowly get better, just like I've done. I've slowly got better, and I know I still have a ways to go, as we all do. This never stops, never ends. The journey never ends. So anyways, I just wanted to come on and talk to you about that, and I think it's an opportunity to go back, look at your gigs, look at what you're doing, and make sure that you are painting a picture about how professional you are and how that makes you different than most people on Fiverr. And again, that sounds, it doesn't, and I'm not saying that's probably, that does sound bad, but I would say more like, because that's not what I say. I say I charge more than most people. And that's a good way to do it. Why do you charge more, or why should you work with me besides other people? And it's because I bring this to the table. I bring this to the table. And you might be like, okay, well, that's cool, but I don't have a lot of experience. I don't have any. I'm just starting. That's fine. Talk about the experience you have from your, like, what life experiences are going to help you, right? What jobs have you done? What degrees or certificates do you have? All of that stuff matters, you guys. It matters to people. It matters. It paints a picture of a real life person that someone would want to work with. Even though people only see our voices, they still want to know who we are. They still want to have a picture in their head of what we are bringing to the table as a person, even though no one ever sees our face. They just hear our voice, right? But the people who hire us want some context there, okay? Because that's how we have to make a decision. So anyways, I just wanted to come over. This is a shorter episode today, and I wanted you to think about that. And based on my experience I had today from a voiceover I did, that, make sure you are, be proud of the quality that work that you do. Don't put down others, okay? But just make sure you are letting people know of the quality work that you do. And if you are not feeling that you are there yet, that's fine too. Keep working on it. I still work on it every single day, all right? So just keep working on it, but let people know too that, you have experience, you have quality work, and that it's going to help them in the long run as well, all right? All right, you guys, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Make sure you check out the Facebook group if you've not done that. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. And also, if you get a chance to check out the Fiverr Elite group on the website or coaching. Oh, and by the way, this is a cool thing because I've done a bunch of these, but I don't talk about it a lot. If you want your Fiverr gig reviewed, I actually have a gig on Fiverr that I review people's gigs. And I think I've done like 20 of them so far, and it's really been great. And it's real nice. I put together like a 20-30 minute video of me reviewing your Fiverr gig. It's like $50, and I go through the entire gig, and I do a video, and it's me and going to, you see your whole gig on the screen, and I go through it all for you and stuff, and then send you the video, and then you have the video for life. So that's a pretty cool thing. And if you're interested in doing that, that's a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that too. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much. It was great having you all here, because here you're all in the booth with me. All right, you guys, have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Check out the YouTube channel tomorrow at 1:00 for Fiverr Friday. Talk to you then. Peace.